Before we get into today's video, I want to say I can give you easily the best builds for Shinobi Striker, you know, the best defense ones, the best free ones, the best ones with DLC, but have to get out there and go experience the game for yourself. Play with your friends, hit the pit, even solo queue, but most importantly, I want you guys to enjoy the game. Here's the best free builds in Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. Let's go!
I got gang scriptures in my tattoos. I was running from the police in my trap shoes. Posted trying to flip 100, I come back full. Come from nothing, but I blossom to a tycoon. Betrayal scars, can't stop thinking.
I'm not gonna hit you with a corny intro. You're here for the best free builds in Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. Let's go. These are the best free attack builds for Shinobi Striker. The first jutsu is actually gonna be Sharingan, which you can get from the Kakashi VR Master. This gives you a Sharingan effect that allows you to dodge any attack. I know this looks a little weird, but this is the Jutsu Leaf Rising Wind, which is really a Tai Jutsu that you get from Rock Lee, the VR Master. And for the ultimate, we'll actually be using Planetary Devastation, which you can get from the Pain VR Master. Here are the stats that I recommend that you put on your build. So what you actually want to do is use your Leaf Rising Wind as more of a finisher and not to chase down people. Use it to finish your opponent. I also recommend that you don't use Sharingan at the same time as using Leaf Rising Wind, because most of the time you'll lose both jutsus and there's really no point. Also, I recommend to not do the same mistake I did and use Shadow Clone. Use a clone that actually does damage or some type of negative debuff. If you don't have any weapons yet, I highly recommend that you do use hand-to-hand because the combos are really actually pretty powerful and you'll see a 10-hit combo on ease. When using an ultimate in Shinobi Striker, make sure you do not have Sharingan activated because you can sub out of your own ult and lose it immediately. Get your Pain VR Master all the way leveled up because we'll also be using Almighty Push that has a slew of buffs and does break guards. Guys, we'll also be using Leaf Rising Wind with this build as well. Guys, now this is something you walk into the game and already have. 7 Heavenly Breaths, which gives you a heal over time and instantly heals yourself. Here's a few tips while using this build. I highly recommend that you don't use Leaf Rising Wind to catch up with an opponent, but either to start your combo up close or to finish your combos. Now, I'll also tell you right now to practice all your combos with every weapon that you have, especially with claws. You can do the double square. Never use the triangle really with the regular claws, but I also recommend that you use Leaf Rising Wind on a blocking opponent because it does break guards, and use your Almighty Push to finish off combos. Almighty Push also breaks Water Pillar and Sand Shield. Here's what I recommend using on this build. Next up, we have the best range builds for Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. The first jutsu is going to be Lightning Shuriken Net, which you can get after you play a certain amount of games at range. Next up, we do have the Sai VR Master Lions, which do a lot of negative status elements to speed and attack power. For the ultimate, we'll be using an Itachi VR Master move, and that is Totsuka Blade. Let's do a build breakdown, especially on Lightning Net. Listen, guys, after you get Lightning Net, now the more hits you do with Lightning Net, the better the damage is, and especially if you do the second part where it gets hit twice with the same Lightning Net, and then you throw out your Lions and then you throw your Sinbon, you can either boost the ninjutsu damage on that, or you can throw out multiple Sinbon and do a boost on the ninja tool. Now, I do recommend that you guys do follow up and learn the Kusanagi combos. They will help your power out and they will help you practice with Lightning Net a lot easier. Guys, I highly recommend that you do a light combo into a crowd of people. You can hit multiple people, but you rarely will hit a full health defense due to their big health and big defense. Also, I recommend that you do pay attention to the second part of the jutsu where the sword comes down, because you can also hit somebody with that. I quickly recommend that you do change your target as soon as you hit that light attack. The first jutsu on the second build is actually going to be Amaterasu, which you can get from the Itachi VR Master and a burn over time. Next up, we do have the Fireball Jutsu, which you can get from the Sasuke VR Master. Now, this is a quick fire burst heal with no burn over time. We're going back to the Sasuke VR Master, and you can go ahead and hit up Kirin, which is a quick burst damage jutsu that does a range of damage. I call this my plug and play build because it's so easy to hop on the game, master this build, and be proficient in Shinobi Striker. Not too much skill you need on this when you pop that light attack into the Amaterasu Fireball, spam the kunai, spam the Sinbon, whichever one you want to call it, and then master those Kusanagi combos, and it's a GG's every time. A lot of the times we need something to keep people still, so we can use Kirin. Amaterasu doesn't have enough Square Stun to really use that, so we're gonna have to figure out something else. Now, there's a combo that allows you to flat back them. Normally it's about the 5-hit combo, but I'm telling you right now, we can do it in about 7 or 8, then throw out the Kirin, and they can't roll out quick enough, and it's a GG. Both the range builds actually have the same top and bottom skill and accessory skill. Here are the best free defense builds in Shinobi Striker. The first jutsu for the best defense build is going to be a trigrams rotation, which you can get after a few games of playing defense. The second jutsu is going to be snake thrust, which you can get from the Mitsuki VR Master. For the ultimate, we'll be using Deep Forest Emergence, which you can get from the Yamato VR Master. Here is the full build breakdown. Make sure you do have them substitute before you use snake thrust. It'll send them flying. Also, snake thrust does give your health back after you use rotation. There's an invincibility glitch, as you can see right there. Orochimaru goes flying, and it's just a weird little glitch, but it's good for you. Listen, also, I highly recommend that you do watch where you do your snake thrust, but also trigrams. Guys, a lot of times if you do square stun and then immediately use a trigram, they will hit you with a square. It's quite nice, and they definitely will go flying. With Deep Force Emergence, I highly recommend you just get people that are fighting on a base or a flag. 2 or more is what you're looking for, and try to snake thrust it in a line. It'll do more damage. Here are the skills that I recommend for those clothes. The first jutsu on the second build is going to be Wood Strangle, which you can get from the Yamato VR Master. Go ahead and grab that snake thrust again from the Mitsuki VR Master. And for your ultimate, we're gonna go ahead and use the Kasame VR Master and get that water shark out of the way. Always start your combos out with Wood Strangle. They also reset combos, but I go ahead and start the combo with Wood Strangle, keep them in place so I can use that snake thrust as my finisher or my guard breaker, whichever I need to do. Definitely practice your long sword combos. Now listen, I messed up there a little bit, but that's okay because I'm at the snake thrust for the dub right here. Notice how I use my Wood Strangle here to keep them in place, and then I start my combos. I don't immediately use snake thrust. I want to get them low enough so I can use that snake thrust to do that finisher move, because that's what we really want, and keep them far away from anything that we're trying to protect or damage. Now listen, this is where we need that guard breaker right there. Using your Wood Strangle to keep them in place is actually a really good idea. You can get multiple hits also, and if you use your lightning tool or anything that keeps them in place, it definitely makes that water shark so much more OP. I highly recommend you guys do that. It's like it's going in a wave, so think about it like that when you're trying to fight them. These are the best free healer builds that'll allow your team to survive in Shinobi Striker. The very first jutsu for the healer build is going to be Heavy Boulder to keep ourselves alive, and you get this after you play a certain amount of games in healer. The next jutsu for this build is going to be Cellular Extraction, which is a burst heal that gets rid of all negative status element, and we get that from Sakura VR Master. For the ultimate, we'll be going to the Kabuto VR Master for Feather Illusion, which gets rid of your substitution and your jutsus and puts you to sleep and makes your defense a little bit lowered. The build breakdown, guys, there's not too much to this build. Cellular Extraction heals your teammates, gets rid of negative status elements. Yes, we know all that stuff, but Heavy Boulder keeps us in that fight. It boosts our defense. Nothing too crazy right there. Feather Illusion takes a little bit to get. It is from the Kabuto VR Master. It can put people to sleep. Also means they can be pit fill, and we like to get rid of their jutsus and substitutions. The next build starts off with a Summoning Slug, which you get after you play a certain amount of heal games. Guys, listen, this gets rid of all negative status elements and is a burst heal as well. Go ahead and put on Cellular Extraction again. And for that ultimate, we're going to go ahead and hit up Sakura once again for Regeneration, which allows you to bring back your teammates, but also heal your teammates from afar. Build breakdown time, guys. If you throw that slug on people, yes, it'll steal up all their jutsus, but as soon as they step on that slug, it lowers their defense, and I mean by a lot, guys. This is a great base flag defending type build, guys. If they land on that slug, you need to jump them immediately. Also, guys, look how easily this is. Pretty just step on, step off, and it heals you. Now, you do need that Cellular Extraction because that Summoning Slug is 30-second cooldown, and that Regeneration allows you to bring back dead teammates and also heals you fully and heals your teammates a lot. Here are the skills for both builds. Each of these builds probably could have their own 5-minute video, but guys, I had to condense all the information, so if you're a little bit confused on anything, comment down below and I'll go into further detail. Just ask nicely, please, and I'll see you in the next one.